我其实都有发啦 ，IG 跟 YouTube 一起同步发，然后但是 TikTok 它出来的时候我开始放，然后涨粉是最快的，然后 IG Reels 开始涨粉，然后我的 YouTube 也才开始涨粉。TikTok 是你只要内容好的话，系统就会给你推流。我觉得它是给我一个被看到的机会，但是看一些新闻啊，说有可能会有窃取的风险，这方面我没有太多的研究。
There's a negative side to that unchecked screen time.
Who you are, where you live, where your family is, where you work.
These are the kinds of things that other nations use to leverage and get information from people.
It's owned by a Chinese company called ByteDance.
President Biden has signed a bipartisan bill that would force its Chinese parent company to sell by January or face a ban here in the U.S.
In less than a decade, TikTok has grown to become one of the most powerful digital platforms in the world. With almost 1.6 billion active users and counting, it rivals Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube and beats them all for engagement. Studies have found that American users spend 100 to 120 minutes in the app every day, compared to just 25 to 30 for Instagram and even less for Facebook. For its world-spanning army of creators, this stickiness is an enormous advantage, keeping eyeballs on their videos for longer and regularly bringing new followers scrolling by. But for governments and detractors around the world, the ever-growing success of the platform is cause for great concern. TikTok's parent company ByteDance is based in China, and many fear that users could be at risk of having their data harvested and opinions influenced, all under the watchful eye of Beijing. In late 2024, the outgoing Biden administration mounted an attack on the service, leading to a total blackout in January 2025. Though the service was restored after just 14 hours following intervention from President-elect Donald Trump, the nuclear option turned heads around the world. In Taiwan, 40% of all under 30s are regular users of the app, and watch time across the population is more than double that of Instagram. With shared language and large cultural overlap easing cross-strait transmission, many fear that TikTok is the kind of influence vector Beijing could only have dreamed of just a few years ago. Several lawmakers have floated the idea of following Biden in pushing for a ban. Yet for its users and the many Taiwanese creators who call it home, the platform is a hub of creativity and entertainment. Could calls for an outright ban ever be justified? Welcome to Finding Formosa, Short Circuit.
我是 Charles， 来自于 Michael Pen。Michael Pen 是一个事实查核单位，然后我们有聊天机器人，然后让民众透过 Line， 然后来把讯息转传进来，做一些查证。那个时候2015，我们在机器人的后台，我多半收的大概是这样子横的这样子的影片，但是2020左右吧，那收到影片几乎都开始变成直的了。
目前全世界面临的一个重要的问题是假讯息的散布。那台湾的事实查核机构在全世界来讲相对较多，主要原因是台湾是全世界假讯息攻击的前线。
很多的来自网络偏差的资讯，它不一定是不实讯息，可能只是在观点上面相对的有它的争议，这些差异本来是很正常，每个民主社会大家很多元，可是呢，中资的 APP 或是中资的网络平台，有可能会带来一个更进一步的风险。
字节跳动，它在很早2016-17，它就被中国政府整肃。那中国政府就是说，我这些政治宣传按照你的演算法，我就推播不出去啦，所以你的演算法也要有政治责任。
抖音里头被推播的有将近一半的这些热榜影片，它事实上它背后是中国官方的账号。
根据所有的市政显示，不管是抖音或小红书，它透过演算法，它可以让你看到不是你想看的，是中国政府想要你看的。
我们会收到很多来自于亲中的内容，那他可能会想要让你的思想跟他的是一样的，可能会讲乌克兰这样，台湾就会怎样，回归了多好，中国的建设有多好之类的。
一方面可能是尝试着讲好中国故事，那二方面呢，他可能呢是透过贬义 民主来去进行资讯操作，来去带风向，来去做所谓的认知作战。
而且很多的这些内容，它是以娱乐作为包装，让你看不出里面的比较隐含的政治讯息。然后我们同样都是华语，所以我们在理论上说会有文化亲近性，它会有更大量的进入台湾的社会。
While the number of young Taiwanese on TikTok is lower than Europe and the United States, 44% of elementary and 60% of junior high school students are regular users. Taiwanese Mandarin is fundamentally the same as Chinese Mandarin, meaning young people have access to hundreds of millions of Chinese content creators in their native language. While this might be great for entertainment, it means Beijing's propaganda arms have a much easier time creating content to influence Taiwanese users than demographics elsewhere. According to the annual Taiwan Internet Report, young Taiwanese who spend more than 30 minutes a day on TikTok have an overall much sunnier view of China than their non-user peers. Studies have shown the statistical correlation of these effects to be much greater in Taiwan than the United States. Some worry that this exposure will lead to lasting cultural and linguistic erosion.
那因为中国有审查制度，导致很多中国人民他会用拼音去避开这些审查。可是有一些台湾人就渐渐的习惯，你明明是在台湾的环境，结果你也在自我审查。他已经把那样的审查的思维内化到自己的生活习惯上面。那另外一个是说，有一些台湾人他可能希望有中国市场而进行自我审查。
那透过这样的一个依赖，它可以让这些在地的媒体，包括很多的网红，扮演类似于北京的在地协力者的角色，他会自我审查，针对中共这个官方的一些敏感的议题，新疆的问题、台独的问题等等，来去做自我审查。
Many, in fact, drift towards that direction because the Chinese market is so much larger. That is a tendency with the entertainment industry writ large. And I think influencers should be seen as another form of entertainers. And entertainers are no different than, let's say, Tai Shang, the businessman that do business in China. And so with regards to TikTok, I think Taiwan was watching the US. But with the US not going forward, I think that further adds the challenge.
In December 2022, the Taiwan government announced a ban on TikTok for all government-issued devices, citing fears that the application might contain unknown backdoors into sensitive or classified information. The Ministry of Digital Affairs issued an accompanying statement which described the platform as a product harmful to national information security. This followed a Trump-era executive order which prohibited all US transactions with ByteDance and the No TikTok on Government Devices Act, passed by the US Congress just a week prior. Under Biden, the US administration pushed forward with a blanket ban, passing an act of Congress to mandate the sale of TikTok by January 2025. The Supreme Court struck down an appeal, and the ban was upheld, until Donald Trump promised to repeal the ban at the 11th hour. Many commentators have suggested that Trump's success on the platform in the 2024 elections may have been the reason he reversed his position. Whatever the reason, US prevarication reset the issue in Taiwan, as a long-running debate continues to play out at the highest levels of government.
我们必须要在不同的价值之间来去做取舍，因为这个必须是整个社会来去思考一个问题，是国家安全比较重要，还是言论自由比较重要
？I think the government's ban on TikTok using official devices is completely reasonable because one does not want Chinese apps to have access to government data. But I think actually banning it would do more harm than good.
作为一个民主国家、开放的社会，你要在网络上整个 ban 掉一件事情，它很容易绕开来。甚至于像中国那种网络管制的国家，还是会有人透过 VPN 爬墙来使用。所以当然该禁止，我个人是不反对，但我不认为这是最有效的方法。
除了政治的因素之外，还有很多需要考量到台湾的民生，还有地缘的关系之类的，还有蛮多细节，但是还没有太多的讨论，可能法条就被拿掉了，我觉得就还蛮可惜的。
我们可能可以采取的是比较温和的政策工具，我们可能需要在传播端强化我们的公广集团，然后呢去提供一些优质的商业媒体跟公民媒体，那甚至于一些影视产业来产生好的内容，
电视啦、电影啦、流行音乐啦，那这个一块我们自己文化的本体性要守住。
这样事实上是可以去确保台湾的资讯环境里有替代性的资讯，不同于假讯息，不同于来自中国的资讯。
面对中国的华语强大的软体，我们要怎么样可以去振兴台湾自己的文化产业？我想这是一个重要的内容。
And yet, while Taiwan's traditional media sector has been in decline for decades, the creator economy has become one of its fastest growing sectors. As the face of an increasingly successful industry, internet celebrities must be part of this local content revival, even if many of them are achieving their greatest success on Chinese-owned platforms.
TikTok 这个平台，它是一个跳板吧，就是你可能没有补光灯啊，没有一些专业的设备啊，但是你只要发出的内容是大家感兴趣的，演算法都会推流。不管是对于创作者来讲，还是对于用户来说，我觉得平台本身它是很棒的，所以大家听到会蛮难过，如果这个平台被禁掉的话，